What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Where My Turds At Showdown Breakdown Special, brought to you by DFS Army. My name is Kevin Allen, aka the Geek, and I've got my man with the plan, Bobby Millions, aka Bobby Moneybags, aka Bobby Big Swinger, with me to break down the game and help you make all the monies tonight. Where my turds at? Everybody wants a King of the Beach ticket, man. We're all like, Burns got 6 of them. I want one. Hunter wants one. And Stadium Property Stars Incorporated wants one. Bobbywow wants one too. We're all going to hang out in Miami.
That'd be great.
I think
tonight. Is this the last night tonight?
It's probably one of the last nights. I mean, at some point they got to have the contest.
That's true.
Yeah, got to get it going. Everybody going to be hanging in Miami. One time I played Welcome to Miami on one of my players clubs. Got that. They didn't just give us a strike. They deleted the whole damn video. They were like, "Oh no." Deleted it. It was brutal.
Yikes.
Yes. Also, that's awesome. Okay, here we go. There we go. Stadium Property Stars Inc., aka Awesomer. I can't pronounce. I've seen the name. I don't know what it is. All right, let's talk about 49ers Rams. Now, Bobbywow, they're going back to Jimmy G after that performance last time out. They're going back to Jimmy?
I guess. I don't really know why. I mean, at this point, give Trey Lance the ball and see what he can do. The NFC's bad, so I guess you can ride Jimmy G, but clearly it seems pretty clear to me that he's not the guy.
All right, let's just get right into the question of the day. How much Trey Lance is acceptable for the old backup quarterback comes in to win the slate narrative? Like, what is your comfort level knowing that Tua came in and won a tournament just 3 days ago?
I would say it's a little bit higher with Trey Lance. I mean, number one, because we've seen him come in and score touchdowns, even with Jimmy as the starter. But number two, I don't think Jimmy's leash is very long at this point. So, and that's excluding the injury chances, which we know are real with Jimmy as well. So for me, I'll probably end up with around 10% tonight. He's cheap enough. He's not priced as a starter, obviously. And so I'll probably have 15 lineups or so with Trey Lance, and all of those will be without Jimmy G. So that's where I'm at.
Fucking no Jimmy G, man, against the Rams. So I think the fact that it's Rams defense elevates the chance of either Jimmy G just looking like dog shit or him getting hit and getting hurt or getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like butt hurt to where he wants out.
Well, I agree.
So, man, there's a lot of possibilities for Trey Lance in this one coming in the game. But we are starting with Jimmy G. So important to note. It's also important to note that the Rams are good on defense, but they're not like elite against the run or the pass statistically. They're just elite overall. It's kind of weird. I actually want to bring up the power rankings for this one because I think I have to see what the power rankings tool sifts through a lot of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get a look and see what this is an important one. So if you look at here, let me bring this up here if I can. Oh boy. All right. So take a look down here and you'll see that, both the Rams and San Francisco project for 270 yards rushing, passing yards. Like that's a good amount. It's on the high side. And for rushing yards, the Rams project pretty well. And San Francisco, not terrible at 100 yards. So, we know the Rams defense is good. And it is. But it's not like we have to be scared of them.
Yeah, it's so interesting because you look at their team on paper, and the amount of superstar playmakers they have, and now with Von Miller is crazy. But you're right; they've struggled, especially against the pass, at least in yards allowed. So it'll be interesting. I think San Francisco is overrated. I can't believe it's only a 3.5 point spread. But yeah, one of these weeks the Rams are going to put it together, and when they do, it's going to be terrifying for the league.
If you're betting tonight, just take the Rams and take the money line.
You think so?
Yeah, just take the money. I don't like giving points ever. So I'm pretty confident the Rams winning this game tonight. But yeah, I think you could bet the spread, but that 3.5 is gross. You could just take the money line. Depending, I got to take a look at the money line, but yeah, I'm definitely on the Rams side. I can't imagine being on the San Francisco side of this game. So, but with that being said, on the San Francisco side, we do have some matchup issues to concern ourselves with. So number one, obviously Elijah Mitchell has been the guy. What a revelation he's been. He's been good, and San Francisco loves to run the football. And I will say this as a bonus: George Kittle is the best pass blocking tight end in the NFL. He's the best all around, all purpose tight end when he's in the game, and that includes Kelsey and the other ones because he's an elite blocker aside from being a really good pass catching tight end. When he's in the game, that team is nasty aggressive about running the football. And if I'm trying to beat the pass rush of the Rams, Aaron Donald and that whole crew, now I don't want to run towards where Aaron Donald is, but I want to run the football to neutralize the pass rush of the Rams. So I definitely like the 49ers at least coming in with a game plan where they're going to go run heavy, do a lot of Elijah Mitchell. Now, I see we don't have on the chalkboard or on our matchup board, it's showing Jeff Wilson Jr. as the backup, but it's really Jermichael Hasty has been more of the backup guy up till now. Now you got Jeff Wilson back. What do you think of Jeff Wilson in this game?
Well, Hasty's ruled out. So I
Jeff
think
Wilson is ruled out?
No, Hasty's ruled out.
That's what's up. Okay, that's what's up. So
I do like Wilson. He's super cheap. He's going to be high owned too, but he'll probably be the pass catching back, the third down guy. So they don't really like Trey Sermon for whatever reason. I like Sermon. They don't. So I think Wilson will probably be the second guy in line.
Hunter, this is a good question. How much does Kittle back hurt Debo? I think what hurts Debo is potential for Jalen Ramsey to travel to cover him. And I'm going to throw this back at you in the audience and for you to keep in mind, Bobbywow. How much of this game will Debo Samuel see direct Jalen Ramsey coverage? Will be the whole game? Are they going to say, hey, follow this dude? Or are they not going to do that? Maybe they'll put him on George a little bit. Maybe they'll put him on Ayuk and maybe he'll be moved around. I think that's one of the key determinative factors of this entire game. What's going to happen? But I love your Jeff Wilson play. How much is he? What's the salary on DraftKings for Wilson?
I think he's 1,200. He's super cheap.
So that's one of our guys. And the narrative definitely favors throwing to the running back. But I wanted to mention the fact that they finally started throwing to Elijah Mitchell last week. So they've now shown a little bit of trust that they can throw to him, which elevates Mitchell as an overall play for me as well. I like Mitchell, and I like 49ers running back. I don't care who the opponent is ever. 49ers running back, especially one that's going to get a lot of the touches in that offense. That's what Shanahan is good at. He's good at that. He's good at setting up an offense that runs the football no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah.
Wilson had a midweek scare coming off torn meniscus. How much could they really rely on? No, I don't think Sermon will get an opportunity in this game and is being completely just all right. So Antoine, who always to the Showdown Turd Show, brings a little bit of contrarianism. He's kind of saying maybe Trey Sermon, but they hate Trey Sermon and they do not. He can't pass protect. I don't like Trey Sermon because he can't pass protect. The reason they hate him more than anything is for that. And this is not that game where you want a guy who can't pass protect in the game. They just don't want that. So let's see what happens. I am curious about the Wilson and how much work he can get coming off the injury. All right. So let's talk about the pass catchers. San Francisco, you got Debo Samuel. That's my back punk. And then you've got Brandon Ayuk finally getting a little bit of targets. Last week, they were very, very democratic with the way that they, or egalitarian. What's a good word for that? Egalitarian, not democratic. Democrat is the wrong word. I just made up a word that had nothing to do with this. They were very. John Lynch went on a broadcast saying Trey Sermon will get a shot. I mean, do with that what you will. Okay, maybe it's Trey Sermon get a couple of shots.
I don't hate it because he's going to be less than 1% owned. So yeah, you don't have to play much Trey Sermon to get leverage there. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, Antoine, if you want to get that lean, just play like 5% or 8%. Like you're good. There's also the fact that Elijah Wilson is perpetually with a Q tag, and he could get hurt in game 2, and then you get a Trey Sermon game. Anything can happen in a showdown. We play for these things. Yeah. So what are you looking up? You got another screen going? You got a second screen?
I do.
You got a second screen?
I got it for you.
Dirty dog. You dirty dog. Where is it? It's up top?
It feels like it's up on my ceiling. No, it's right in front of me.
I see the eyes going up to the screen. You move quickly on that. I love it. All right. So Ayuk finally getting some love last week. I like Ayuk in this game. I don't know about you, but I like Ayuk in this game. If the Ramsey, I don't believe somebody said, Hunter just said that he doesn't really think that Ramsey is a shutdown. I don't buy that, dude. Ramsey is a shutdown guy. He is not. You don't want to fuck with Jalen Ramsey. And if you know he's going to be on Debo, and I don't know that, then I want to go to the other wide receiver or to George Kittle as the guy who's more likely to put up a big game. So it's Ayuk and it's George Kittle for me as, you know, if you want to kind of like not play Debo. I don't know how else. And I don't think you're able to play Debo and Cooper Kupp in the same lineup, really. So, like, there are choices that need to be made, and I'm going to favor, like, the Cooper Kupp decision on that one. But beyond that, we get to the turds. And I like George Kittle a lot. 21% comes back. He's in a great matchup. Couldn't ask for better. Again, with the Rams being really good at defensive back, you would expect the tight end to do a little something. All right, good. So talk to me about this turd grouping here. Juwan Jennings, I mean, it's gross. Sherfield, it's horrible. Ross Dwelly, you know, and Charlie Woerner, you know, we always talk about you got to play these backup tight ends for that one play we saw yesterday at the goal line where Blake Bell or Norm Grant or whatever the fuck that guy's name was catches that, you know, fake handoff TE third string TE pass at the goal line.
Yeah, I think the problem is on these showdown slates lately, there have been guys that have been cheap enough to where even when the turds perform, they don't make the optimal. Like last night, Gray or Bell, whoever that was, didn't end up in the optimal lineup. So I think we've got a similar situation tonight with both the Rams, with both Robert Woods being out and then Mohamed Sanu being out as well. Plus, you know, you've got Jeff Wilson if he's going to play, his salary's low. So I don't know. I don't have a ton of interest in these backup tight ends for San Francisco. Could one of them fall in the end zone? Sure. But I don't know that we have to go there with the value that we have.
Probably don't, but I agree also with Hunter. I would assume that it's going to be Sherfield.
I heard Juwan Jennings might get the more opportunities. So I don't know. Don't take that, you know, as exactly what's going to happen. But I heard the opposite. I heard Jennings is going to get a shot.
Hard to know. Hard to know for sure, right? We don't have definitive information. That being said, we're going to move on to the Rams. But before we do, guys, couple of important notes. Number one, if you're watching this and you like the Showdown breakdown shows, make sure you like the video. Like the video because A, it does something with the algorithm that allows people to find it. And part of the reason we do this, by the reason why we do a public free Showdown breakdown every week, and if you want to see them, it's because we want to let people know what we do over at DFS Army behind the paywall. And we do a lot of stuff like this, DFS Army for every sport, every slate, all of that. But, you know, we got to let the world know. So if you give us a like, people will find it. And, of course, if you're not subscribed to DFS Army yet, What are you doing? What are you waiting for? What's the holdup? It's never been a better time. You sign up for VIP. My promo code is Geek, Geek. It gets 10% off of VIP. Let me tell you something, Bobbywow.
Yeah.
VIP is $2 a day. $2 a day for NBA, NFL, golf, NASCAR, soccer, esports. Go fucking sign up for esports. Costs you $50 a month just for a subscription to that if you're into it. Every sport, baseball, and coaching, and help in the Slack or in the Discord, and DMs, and a family to hang out with who supports one another, and free rolls that we're putting together, like the big free roll from that we're setting up for this week for Bob's big 100K NBA win with a bunch of swag and all kinds of shit to that free roll. So if you're not in DFS Army, you're missing out. We're half the price of the other sites. And I do it for a reason, Bobby. You know why I do that? Because why would a site that's better, that's ranked top 2, 3 in every single sport independently, and that's true, and number 1 in hockey of all fucking sports, of all the sports, I forgot about that one. Why would we be less? It's because the whole mission of DFS Army from when we started was helping average Joes compete on a level playing field with DFS pros. We've achieved it. It's a success. But I can't help average Joes if I'm charging $125, $140 a month. That limits it to a certain type. We could make a lot more money, but that's not what we're about. We're about helping average Joes compete like pros, take down, fuck the pros. FTP, fuck the pros. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's talk about the Rams. You like that little rant in the middle? I just paused it.
It was good. And I'm a sucker for community. So, like, I know we've got the best tools, no doubt about it. We've got the best coaches. It's crazy to see all the different ranks of the sports. But like you said, just being a part of a community where you can talk about gambling, you can talk about life. I mean, there's so many guys at the Army that I'm just connected with, and I just get to talk. And it sounds super lame and cheesy, but it's so true. Like, don't underestimate the community aspect of being a part of something like the Army. So that's my 2 cents.
By the way, I didn't even mention like NFT and crypto and investments. We got everything going on in DFS Army Discord. We have some of the best NFT influencers in the whole game in our Discord sharing shit. There's a big drop tomorrow. Not sharing anymore. It's keeping it hush hush for the VIPs. Big drop.
I've even heard we have crypto miners.
I'm mining crypto myself right now under the desk. As we are doing this here, my computer is doing double duty, mining Ethereum for me. That's right.
Is that also why it's so cheap for the DFS Army? Because you got crypto money coming in.
I got fucking mines going nonstop. As a matter of fact, when you join DFS Army, your computer becomes part of the mining collective. And it just mines for me, though.
Oh,
you don't even know. You put some software on your computer. You never know. You wouldn't even know it. But I thank you all.
That's good.
You're all part of the community. You don't even know it. You're part of the collective. All right. All right. So let's talk about the Rams side of this game. I love this game tonight. I hated yesterday's game. I didn't want to play it. I hated it yesterday. I love this one. So let's talk about the Rams, right? Stafford, been great. Nothing to say there. Been spectacular all season long. Darrell Henderson, interestingly, last week, a little bit down on the snap count, a little bit more sharing with Sony than has been for most of the season, but not that much. Not that much. In the end of the day, it was 40%. It was a 60-40. It's been more of a 70-30 most of the season.
And he tweaked his ankle too, I think. That's part of why. So he's fully healthy now.
But Darrell Henderson is always an injury risk every single game.
As healthy as he can be, right?
Yeah, he's always got a Q tag. And so, once again, I know I say it all the time, you got to play some Sony, and you got to play some Sony without Darrell, just in case. Just in case. You got to be prepared. Yeah, but you could say it all day. He always gets dinged. Yeah, there it is. I mean, it's the propensity for him. So one of these times he's just coming out of the game. He went back in last time, but come on. We know that he can get knocked out of a game. So you got to have some Sony. And you always have to be careful with how much Darrell Henderson, even in this great matchup, exposure you get, because he just gets hurt. He just does.
The one thing I'll say is you can definitely roster Sony, but I would not roster them together.
they probably will not hit in the same lineup. That version of a lineup is where the Rams absolutely decimate the 49ers. Yeah. Like that could happen, but
at that point, everyone else is getting there anyway.
Yeah, they would have to absolutely decimate them. All right, so obviously the big news is Odell Beckham. Bobby Trees is gone for the season. Odell Beckham is the guy. He's back. He's on the team. Not back. He's with a team. But here's the thing, Bobbywow. I think Odell Beckham sucks.
Oh, man.
Like, I think he sucks. I don't think he'll suck his first game with a new team, though. But yeah, I think overall as a player.
I don't know that he sucks.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he plays in LA. Now, the thing with Odell is he's not going to play a full complement of snaps. I mean, McVay's offense is complicated as it is. So they don't expect him to come in knowing everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if he played less than 30% of the snaps today. So that's the question. Is it worth taking some shots on him at his price, which is pretty high?
I'm going to give a flip side argument, and let's see where he's priced on FanDuel. But the flip side argument on him is when he does play, though, they'll have designed plays for him. They'll have a few specifically designed plays for Odell. Like they'll have been like, all right, just run a slant, dude. It's all good. Like they're going to have a few designed specifically that practice during the week, and he'll be able to execute them because they practice a specific Odell play. And there could be 5 of those or 7. And that's enough. That's 7, potential targets. So it's something to keep in mind. But the big listen, Cooper Kupp is the GOAT. He's going to be priced up so high. It's going to be hard to afford him, but you're going to want to afford him. And then after that, it's Van Jefferson, who's the price down stud. I think he's a good player. 96% of the snaps last week. He was already getting all the snaps, Bobbywow. But now he moves into hey, if I'm not throwing to Cooper, I'm probably throwing to Van. Van Jefferson's a great play on the slate. And then after that, it gets very thin. Ben Skowronek, who no one's ever heard of, will be the WR3 when Odell's not in the game. I mean, JJ Koski, super turd. And then Higbee and Higbee coming in. Higbee's actually coming off a pretty good game. Higbee's been yeoman-like all season long. And then Kendall Blanton is the backup tight end. Very simple. Hasn't seen almost any snaps. By the way, they don't play the backup tight end almost at all on the Rams. He's never on the field. So unlike other teams that they bring in the backup tight end for certain situations, the Rams almost never do. And he hasn't been targeted even once. Was there another backup tight end that they've been playing previously to this Blanton person?
Someone got hurt. I can't remember what the name is, but he got hurt. Blanton got called up last week, played 2% of the snaps.
Yeah, so don't look for much. Yeah, and Hunter's thinking Higbee gets a bump in targets, which very much could happen.
I will personally be taking some shots on Skowronek. I think he's going to step in. He's min price on DraftKings. It would not take a lot from him to be in the nuts, and he allows you to do whatever you want with Cooper Kupp. So my guess is that Skowronek will see at a minimum 30, 35% of the snaps, probably higher than that. But it would only take a couple catches to get him in the lineup in the nuts. So he's my favorite turd.
Odell's not priced as a turd. So, I mean, you can't like look at him that way. He's priced as a stud on the slate. So let's talk about, let's go over to the cheat sheet for tonight's showdown. And this was put together by DFSupNORTH. Props. Pour one out for my boy. DFSupNORTH couldn't be here. He's playing hockey. Priorities, man.
He's the best. We miss him.
But we got all the info we need. So obviously Cooper Kupp is the top dog, right? In this game, it's Cooper Kupp always. Cooper Kupp has been a revelation. If you have him on your fantasy team, you're probably in first place. Right?
Absolutely.
Probably in first place. By the way, if you watch the Bowl Call podcast all offseason, you probably have Cooper Kupp on your team because I got him on all my teams. All of them. So Cooper Kupp, the top dog. But here's interesting. I mean, again, I'm going to say this again. I get that Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G are on the list. I'm not into either of these guys on DraftKings as my captain. How about you?
Oh, man. Geek, I have faded Cooper Kupp. I have faded him time and time again. He has sizzled me to a crisp this year. With Skoronowski and Jeff Wilson and those guys being as cheap as they are, it's really hard for me not to play him at captain. I agree with Stafford. It's really hard for me not to get at least even with the field on Kupp tonight.
So Kupp will be 20% captain. I'm going to fade 13% Stafford. I'm
with you on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely fading 8% Jimmy Garoppolo. Probably won't even be in the game after halftime. By the way, Justin, we do that, right? First of all, we do DFS Army only ones for the Sunday showdowns, and of course for the main slates. I mean, most of our stuff is behind the paywall. You just gotta like Monday Night Football. It's an island game. We're trying to get the word out. Tell your friends. Come sign up. Join us. All right. So, like my cult leader thing, join us. I don't feel like it would work.
No, I was terrifying actually.
Yeah, it had the opposite effect. All right. So I'm out on these two. Darrell Henderson, sure, but he's also not necessarily like somebody that I'm looking at and thinking he's going to score 25, 30 fantasy points. He's more of a yeoman like 16. They don't throw to him a ton. It's hard to see Darrell being the nuts captain, but I like him. Then, of course, Debo. Anybody missing here for you? I don't know if I'm going to go Elijah Mitchell. Maybe. I think you play a little bit of all these guys. But who's your favorite?
The one guy that's missing for me is Van Jefferson.
Yeah,
I like him a lot tonight. He's very cheap, and he should see a big bump in targets without Woods. So Van Jefferson makes a lot work as a captain. I think he's got some upside at that price, big time upside. So he's the only guy that I would add into that captain list.
5% ownership projection. I would go above that for sure on him. I think Higbee belongs here too.
I don't hate it. I just wish he was a little bit cheaper.
Where's he priced? 6,200. I mean, it's not expensive. I think he belongs there. So
okay.
To me, on a slate like this, and let's just I want to actually look at the turd zone first, but on a slate like let's go to the, but then we'll make a lineup, right? But yeah, I don't think I want to do Odell at captain.
That's silly for the Millie.
That's some silly shit. 7,400, a little expensive. Only projecting 9% owned, 10%. Everybody's saying no way on Odell makes me want to play Odell at captain.
I know.
Yeah, all the negativity is making me want to do it. We'll see. Hang on. Where are we? Okay. Let's just go to the turd zone here. So Ben Skronek. I can't imagine OBJ is going to play every single wide receiver snap. And the next man up would be Ben Skronek. He actually expected to start according to Jay Glazer and will be a really popular punt to 200. I like Jefferson better, blah, blah, blah. Let me just say this, guys. When a player is 200, they only have to catch like 2 passes, maybe 3, to be in the nuts. Bobbywow, like what? 3 for 30, 6 points? Nuts.
Yeah, I like him. He's my favorite turd by far. I don't think he's even a turd. Could he fail? Sure. But like you said, at min price, I'm going to be way overweight.
Yeah. Now, the other guys that we like a little bit, so Trenton Cannon, whatever. Ross Dwelly, wait, is he in?
Yeah, Dwelly's in.
Okay. Trey Sermon, I think a little less turdly, but still probably won't get a snap. Then you've got Jeff Wilson Jr. up here, who we both talked about already. He should actually be decent in this game with Jermichael Hasty out. They will want a pass blocking kind of a back in there, and they do trust Wilson. And again, he's only 1,200. Somebody said we're not going to load him up after the meniscus. It doesn't matter. For 1,200, all he needs is 4 receptions. That's all that matters. 49ers defense, not super interested. Kickers. Rams defense priced up a little bit. Any interest there?
Not for me, but anytime you got a good defense against Jimmy G, they're in play.
Yeah, I think you can play Rams defense. I don't normally play a lot of defenses, but you can definitely play them. All right, let's try to make a DraftKings lineup before we move on to FanDuel. So we already talked about liking. Let's do a Skoronek. I can't even spell his name. Skoronek. Wait, he's got a Q tag now?
He's good. He's good. He had a little hip pointer in practice.
Yeah, if he gets the start, we're playing him. So I like this Van Jefferson approach at captain, so let's try that. I mean, it's way too many Rams wide receivers here, but
I mean, you literally play anyone you want.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of, if you play Van, I guess with the Skoronek, I actually think maybe the play is to throw Cooper Kupp up top, use that savings. Maybe get Ayuk going because I really like him. Play Trey Lance for when Jimmy G gets kicked out and something like that. I mean, I wouldn't do that in a cash game, but you're going to play Stafford and then maybe Eli Mitchell. I mean, the lineups look good.
That's the problem. Like I would typically be all on board for fading Cooper Kupp. There's just too many people priced 1,500 or lower that could put up a score that's good enough to be in the nuts, so you can get Cooper Kupp anywhere you want.
I wouldn't. I mean, Cooper Kupp is the best play. That doesn't mean you have to play him. Like I would suggest that it's certainly within the realm of shit that could happen. That Deebo Samuel outscores him. That Brandon Ayuk pops off in this game. That Cooper just has a bad game. But more often than not, this guy hasn't had many bad games.
And I can't imagine he'll be worse without Bobby Woods. He should get even more targets.
Yeah, you would think it would get better. Yeah, and I like Kittle too, but so these are all really viable plays, guys. Do I think 3-3? I don't worry about it. 4-2, 3-3. I don't worry about it that much. It's just like who fits for me more often than not. Do you think a lot about 3-3 versus 4-2 when you're making a lineup?
Never, ever. The only thing I rarely do is onslaught 5-1, but it doesn't matter. I don't think about that at all when I'm building.
I do consider it in onslaughts though. I'm just building an onslaught. We've had those kind of games where we're like, I fuck this shit. I'm onslaughting because it's like the Jets. Why is it always the Jets?
It's always the Jets.
Like when Zach Wilson is the quarterback of the Jets, you're like, all right, who are they playing against? Let's build an onslaught. It's time. All right, so let's take a quick look at FanDuel here and Zach Wilson. How many uniques? If you're using the domination station, Cam, I only use for FanDuel I use 1 unique. For DraftKings, I think you're good to use 2 if you want to be a little more risk averse.
I use 1 on DK as well for showdowns.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like if I use a unique, I'm going to uniquely jump over the winning lineup. Like I feel like you've given yourself only a 50% chance of hitting it if you're on the right group. No.
Disagree.
Hurtful. That was just uncalled for. All right, so here we go. Single entry captain on FanDuel. All right, so I'm going to talk a little. Scott, you asked a lot about single. My single entry captain is going to be, you ready for this? Matt Stafford. How about you?
I love it. Yeah. He's the most obvious.
And you know why it's Matt Stafford over Cooper Kupp is because if Cooper Kupp is smashing, Matt Stafford's doing just fine. That's really what it comes down to. And in a single entry, floor is more important in some ways. So,
and we saw this play out perfectly last night. If you were watching on FanDuel, Patty Mahomes was the easy MVP smash.
Yes.
He was the nuts MVP by far. But on DraftKings, Darrell Williams was. because he was the pass catching back, caught a bunch of passes, scored. So exactly the same scenario for me. I think Cooper Kupp is probably the highest ceiling on DraftKings, and Stafford is the most obvious FanDuel play, MVP.
Ben, did Val give out the 49ers as part of his parlay? I'm curious. Because fuck that. For my sensibility, fuck that. But, these guys are, Gargano. I got to text Gargano who he likes for tonight. Do you see him destroy the bets this weekend? Do you feel like Panthers?
The Saints one was wild to me.
The Saints bet. How about not just taking +10 on the Panthers, taking Panthers money line, and then a pizza bet on the Panthers to win at -7 on a team that was +10. Dude, no one hits like that. If you guys don't have the Sharp app and you're not listening to the wise guys, Gargano, Statsational, Anthony, you're fucking crazy. It's just a free app. Get the Sharp app. All right. Hunter likes Eli to run for 70 and a touchdown. I like it too. So let's talk a little bit of FanDuel here and potential captains. Again, not this guy. You're out. Stafford, Kupp, running backs, Kittle. I mean, are we missing anything here?
I don't think so. I think Henderson's too low owned. Eli Mitchell's going to be too low owned. Not sure what's going on with the percentage there, but I like getting some running back exposure here for sure.
They all seem too low owned.
Yeah, something's not adding up there.
16% Matt Stafford, 16% Kupp. Fuck.
I think they're putting an update in right now.
Yeah, they all seem a little too low. But anyway, yeah, Matt Stafford for me is the best play.
Agreed.
Kupp is good too. So if Matt Stafford throws all of his action to Cooper Kupp in this game, Cooper Kupp could get there. If you're playing Cooper Kupp, you got to have Matt Stafford in the lineup in the flex. Another rule, guys, for FanDuel that I've discovered is no matter if it's the captain or the MVP or the flex, if the quarterback is in the game, he's stacked with a pass catcher, period. Use that as a rule. That will make your lineups look better. Yep. Cam. No, Bobby, you're using randomness to gain an edge. I use randomness a little bit, like 5% for a showdown. Do you use it, Bobbywow?
Yeah, I'm about the same 5%, 5-6%.
Yeah, that's what I do. About 5-6%. On a main slate, I use it higher. So, yeah, I mean, you got to play the running backs as potential captains, and you got to play the quarterback. I don't think Jimmy G needs to be in the mix. And then, Cooper Kupp, George Kittle, touchdown scorer, maybe Deebo Samuel, outside shot.
Yeah, deep tournament.
Yeah. Now, FanDuel works a little different than DraftKings because FanDuel, like the cheapie, really does need to score a touchdown. So let's get a look at the bottom. Again, you can get Jeff Wilson Jr. at $5K. That's already pretty damn good. Skowronek. 6K. Sony Michelle at 7K. Tyler Higbee at 7,500. What? Brandon Ayuk 75. You can do whatever you want.
All three of those guys, Van Jefferson, Ayuk, Higbee, way too cheap.
Dude, you don't even need the turds. You're going to give me Sony Michelle, Tyler Higbee, Brandon Ayuk, and Van Jefferson. Hey, where do we go? The brown-eyed boy? Van Jefferson? No? The brown-eyed boy. Am I the only one that thinks that every time they see his name? That the song just goes in my head? Like, oh, Van Jefferson. Yeah, brown-eyed girl. No? Just me?
Not me.
God damn, you guys all. Calling him the brown-eyed boy. RTM. Trademarked it. Right now. Just happened. He needs a nickname. Brown. You guys. I need a live studio audience for this. Anyway. All right.
That'd be fun. I like that idea.
And we need a live studio audience. Listen, the book is still out on DFS for me and the comedy routines. Who knows? It's a lot of life and living left. All right, let's try to make a FanDuel lineup here. Hold on a second.
Oh, man.
All right, I want Cooper Kupp. I want Stafford. 9K left. All right, we're ready. Oh, they priced up Trey Lance. Those sneaky fucks. Do you see this?
I do, yeah.
What is Trey Lance? They didn't know who was starting? You can't play Trey Lance over here, guys.
Oh, man.
We got to do that on DraftKings. Okay. So I got 3 spots left, right? Now, I know about the turd zone. I know about the turd. Well, we talked about Trey Lance on DraftKings as, the most locked in quarterback that's coming in to replace the injured starter and win you the nuts on draft. I mean, that's like, that's probably happening tonight. 50-50. But as far as on FanDuel at this price, no, I need a full game of work for 14K. So there's a lot of bargains down here. Higbee, Ayuk, Van Jefferson. I mean, who's your favorite of this trio? I think I have to play two of them.
The way I finished it out was Van Jefferson and then Kittle and then one of Higbee or Ayuk. I think that's the play. So Van Jefferson, Kittle, and then one of those two guys, Higbee or Ayuk.
I mean, do we really want to play?
See, I took off Higbee. Van Jefferson and Ayuk would be my. And then Kittle's still in there.
You're going to play Kittle over Elijah.
I would, just because the Rams' run defense is so good, but that's just me.
I think there's a lot of ways to go here. I really want, for example, I'd really like Darrell Henderson in my cash style lineup. The only way to make it happen, and you're not going to like it, is to give up on Van Jefferson and double down on Ayuk Higbee.
I don't hate it.
This feels a little onslaught-ish, don't you think?
It's intense. That's the only problem with it is you got a lot of Rams, but it's cashy.
I played it. But I've also got what that gave us is a really easy pathway to like 5 different versions of the same kind of approach, where you could just kind of mix it up, do a Jefferson, maybe Ayuk, get a little bit from San Francisco going on, and that's doing with Kittle. There's this structure you could build around it. Use a Dom station, you could build around it like crazy. So yeah, don't worry about Skronek. Questionable. Looks like he's going to play. Antoine says Elijah Mitchell is a fade tonight. It's on you. Not financial advice. That is it's your choice. Listen, fine. Mitchell, GPP only. Higbee's picture looks more of a girl than my sister.
What does that?
He is very pretty.
What does that even mean?
Wait. Hold on a second. Look at Higbee.
Higbee and Kittle look the same.
Are these two brothers? What's going on here? I got Elijah Mitchell going in a fantasy league along with Darrell Henderson, same team.
I'm underweight on Mitchell as well, but he's so cheap. He's so cheap on DraftKings.
You can play Mitchell, dude. They're throwing to him. This is the 49ers starting running back. They always do well. And the fact that everybody's saying fade him makes me want to play him more. Guess what? You know what's going to happen when this motherfucker gets hurt, and probably going to happen when Darrell Henderson gets hurt in game, which I would say good chance of it happening. You're going to be happy if you got Elijah and Sony Michel in your lineup. That's right. Elijah and Sony Mitchell. That's how you win on FanDuel. You don't win on FanDuel by playing the chalk lineup. Everybody's playing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to have to play some Sony Michel. You're going to have to do some weird shit. Faye Durrell, assume he gets hurt. Can't play Lance on FanDuel. They priced him like a starter. Can't play him. Even if he pops off in the second half, I'm not sure he's going to do enough to pay off that $14K. But what I am doing is probably fading Jimmy G for the most part. I don't see like Jimmy G out there styling on the Rams. You know, putting up 28.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me with Jimmy G is he's got guys that can make big plays out of crappy passes. Like against the Bears. He scored a bunch of points against the Bears because Debo took like a couple screen passes 80 yards each for touchdowns. That's the concern with Jimmy G.
Jimmy's like, Debo's like, that's my back, punk. And then he'll just like bully his way into a touchdown.
This is in San Francisco, this game.
Yeah, this one's San Francisco. Yeah. So home game for the 49ers. That's why they're favored. But as Bobby rightfully pointed out, that implies that both teams are equal, and that seems kind of weird because I think everybody has the Rams as like a legitimate Super Bowl contender this year, and most of us have the 49ers as like would be lucky to make the playoffs this year. Like that's just what it is. I mean, the power rankings do not have these two teams close at all. Rams ranked 5th overall. 49ers 18. I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
I know, but it was the same thing last week, right? The Rams were supposed to destroy. Was it Tennessee? Who was it?
It was probably the Titans. I don't know.
Did Derrick Henry?
No, it was Arizona. I don't remember. Let's see what the I'm just going to see what the rankings say. The score. Yeah, but you know what? It does say 26-24, so it has it as a close game. You know, for whatever it's worth.
There you go.
So yeah, the rankings do show a close game. That's why you bet the money line. All right, guys, that'll do it for the Showdown breakdown. Where my turds at special. It looks to me, Bobbywow, like on FanDuel, I don't really need these turds because they've priced Ayuk and Henderson and Higbee. Like they've priced essentially what are good players on the Rams as and on both Ayuk. They've priced the good players as turds. So how do you get unique on FanDuel? I think it's by playing for a little like like the Sony Michel angle.
Yeah, you got to leave salary on the table. And I still think in MME, if you're MMEing FanDuel, you could use some of the turds.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't. One guy I want to throw out, Geek. One guy is, we talked about him briefly, Juwan Jennings. I think he's going to be overlooked with Skowronek, and he could get some extra time now that Mohamed Sanu's hurt. Okay. So he's the one turd to watch for me outside of the ones we talked about.
Turd watch on Juwan Jennings. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up right there with the turd of the day, guys. Remember, as always, like the channel if you like these kind of videos. We'll do more of them. If you don't, we'll just slap them behind the paywall. It's fine by me. Now all the DFS Army subs are like, I'm not liking that shit. Put it behind the paywall, motherfucker. But like the channel if you like what we're doing. You want to see more of these? Get signed up at DFS Army's VIP, promo code Geek. Go do it now. Do it right now. I can wait. Just kidding. Just kidding. And we will be back. Actually, let me give the rest of my schedule. So, it's Monday. I will be back tomorrow with the FanDuel and maybe late night tonight. It depends how I'm feeling. I got the COVID shot. I might be whacked out tomorrow. Actually, I might not even do anything tomorrow. I could be all whacked out. But if I can do it, I will do the FanDuel and DraftKings first look either late night tonight or tomorrow right here on this channel. Wednesday nights, as always, you want to download the Sharp app. Make sure you've done that. It's a free app where I do the Wise Guy Show with Anthony Gargano. Anthony Gargano, is the shit when it comes to sports betting, but I'm using his information for DFS purposes as well. And if you think, I don't do sports betting, I don't care. Trust me when I tell you this. It's helping me with my DFS play. This week, we all called the Saints to win the game or to cover the 3-point spread, which covered, right? But that gave me a little inkling to be careful of the Titans, who ended up shitting the bed, right? AJ Brown shit the bed. We were on the Detroit, which got me onto Swift and got me a little bit away from the Pittsburgh play, even before they lost the quarterback Ben. We were on in the show. We were on what was the other one?
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina to win big. Got you off the even not knowing who was going to play. Got me fully off of the entirety of the Arizona team. So you want to check out the Wise Guys show, because it's, even if you don't play, even if you don't bet on sports, having that information is helpful. And we break down every game. You get a lot of great info. That's on the Sharp app every Wednesday night. There's a ton of other great stuff, comparative odds. And the other thing you get on the Sharp app, Bobbywow, is player props specific to a game center. So if I want all the props for this game, I could just, I do this right before the show. I go right on the Sharp app into the game center. I click on props, all the props for this game across every book in one place. Right now, if you want to see the props for this game, you can go to DraftKings and see what they're doing. Then you go to FanDuel, see what they're up to. Then you could go to PointsBet and Bet Rivers and Caesars and MGM. You got to go to every different app and look it up one at a time. The Sharp app puts it all in one place. So for my fantasy football and DFS decisions, right there in the game center, guys, it's free. It's a free app. You just download it and you go to the game. You're going to love this app. It's awesome. So go get the Sharp
prop
app.
bet tool is huge, man. The prop bet's huge. I can't emphasize that enough too. Like you did, that sports betting stuff greatly influences the DFS side of things. I was going to say the same thing about the Saints. That's what pushed me over the edge to play Mark Ingram. So totally agree, Geek. The tools are amazing. The advice is super critical, even for DFS. I use the same stuff.
It works always. And plus you start to learn a little about sports betting, so that when it comes to your state, it might not be there now. When it comes to your state, you've learned a little bit. If it is in your state, we've got deals with all of the sports books as well through the Sharp app. They give you free bets and all kinds of shit. We're going to teach you how to start with like a couple $100 and with no risk have thousands. And right now there's an opportunity in sports betting to have thousands upon thousands of dollars in your sports betting account with almost no money starting. It's one of the freest money opportunities I've ever seen outside of crypto. And don't get me started.
Please.
I won't start. I won't. I'm torturing everybody with my crypto love. But it really is. It's one of the freest money opportunities, because these books are giving incredible incentives to sign up there. They're giving you all this free money. They're giving you free bets. Like, you're giving me a free 5,000 bets, Caesars? Okay. I'll take it. Let me bet on something that I feel really sure about, like a money line bet on the Rams tonight or something. Yeah, Javine, this is what I'm saying. We take you down the path. We haven't even put in all our sportsbook deals yet. So if you're doing those, if you're in a state that's legal, let me know. I'll give you all kinds of free shit if you sign up using our codes. Anyway, that will do it for the Showdown breakdown. Where my turds at? Bobbywow, for myself, for DFS Up North, who's with us. Spirit, even if he's on the hockey court. What do you call a hockey on the hockey field?
The rink?
On the hockey rink. I know what it's called.
Okay.
The hockey court. It was funny that it came in my head like that. You know where his hockey ring is, by the way, right? His hockey rink is in his backyard. They just fucking spill out water in Minnesota. They just turn a hose on and your backyard freezes over into a hockey rink. Did you know this?
Yeah, well, instead of a second car, they got a Zamboni in the garage, I think.
Yeah. Is it? I assume it's like that. In Chicago, where you're from, as well. Just go to the backyard, turn the hose on. It's so cold outside, it just freezes over in like an hour.
It did snow today, so I'm a little bit in heaven. But
you like it cold? You like the cold?
Oh my gosh,
really?
There's nothing better than the 4 seasons, man. I love getting the snow, the cold, everything is so amazing.
Really?
Love it. I still get excited about snow days for kids. And I'm like, I haven't been in school in a lot of years.
Kids love a snow day. Last year they ruined it. They were home anyway. But I'm very comfortable if it's never cold. I like the fall where it's like 60 degrees. 50. That's the coldest I want it. And then warm. I never complain about hot ever. It could be
fair.
110 degrees. I'm not complaining. I don't complain because I hate the cold. So I never will complain about heat. Unless it's the heat from all from the mining rig I've got under the desk here that's plowing my face right now.
Right.
Spitting fire at me 24 hours a day. Worth it. All right, guys, that'll do it. I keep forgetting that this is one of our public podcasts. This is supposed to be this is what you get on the VIP. Anyway, now you get a taste of what DFS Army's like. It's a lot more talking shit about nonsense than anything else. All right, that'll do it for the Showdown breakdown. Rams, 49ers, good luck this week, everyone. We will see you.